UK. So I'm online today sharing information about the career of ultrasound in the UK and all what you need to know. So I'm just taking some questions, and if you're here, you have any questions, I'll just start talking about the practice and how I've seen it so far. And I have my little young human here with me, so she might interrupt from time to time. And I'm battling cold, but I have to be out here. Something I promised myself I'll do: show up every week on my YouTube channel and share what I'm passionate about. Let's see how it goes. All right. So in the UK, sonography is more like a secondary career, right? So sonography is more like secondary career. Like for example, I'm from Cameroon. In Cameroon, you can go to school directly to become a sonographer, and you can also go to school in Ghana, as I've learned, and also in the US. You can go directly, even in South Africa, directly to become a sonographer. But there are other countries where you have to go through radiography first, then you specialize to become a sonographer. So that is the case in the UK. In the UK, you go through your radiography school, you do your 3 years undergrad, then you do a PG set in ultrasound, or you are doing a PG set in MRI or CT or nuclear medicine, something like that. But I'm focusing on ultrasound now. So that's how it goes. So you do that, you have that PG set, and then you're focusing on ultrasound, and now you're a sonographer. But recently, yeah, the I think the University of Leeds, it's Leeds, right? Yes, has a BSc program, the graduate program now, that you enter the university directly to study as a sonographer. So that now registers you with ROCT. Right. So with that, now let's continue. Let's skip now. Let's continue with the registration process. So in the UK, you hear HCPC, you hear RCT, you hear B moves, you hear SOR, you hear what's this? Is this I or something? But that's international Europe. But these are the common ones that you will hear. Now, how do all of these pertain to you as a sonographer? As a sonographer in the UK, depending on educational background, you also need a different kind of registrations. Now, for example, if you are coming in from a radiography background, right? You're a radiographer and you're coming from a radiography background and you want to practice ultrasound, you will need HCPC. And it's advisable that you get HCPC. It's really good that you get HCPC. You get HCPC in the UK, you are set, but it's not really something that will regulate as a sonographer. But it's good because now you have a legally respected registration body that is behind you. All right, you have a legally respected registration body that is behind you. Hi, Noah. Hi, Chrissy. How are you? So we're talking about sonography in the UK. If you have any questions, just drop it. We've talked about the educational background already. We're talking now about the different registrations, and we're talking about ACPC. So ACPC is for radiographers. The sonographer, you cannot register with ACPC. Why? Because it's not a status. It's not legally registered professional title, right? It's not a legally registered professional title. So you cannot really do that and say, okay, no, as a sonographer, I want to go and register with ACPC. I tried that, but nah, learned that the hard way, the expensive way. So for that now, as a radiographer, you register with ACPC. Then when you practice now sonography, that's after you get your PG set, you are now a registered radiographer who practices ultrasound. Right. So with that now, whenever employers see HCPC registered, oh, they are all happy and going. But in in reality, as a sonographer, you cannot be registered with HCPC. But the employers like to see that HCPC registered because it's good that they know that you have some legal binding rules that you are following, you have some ethic of practice that you are following that is respected and everybody knows about it. Now, RCT. This is the next one, and this pertain. This is RCT is registered clinical technologist, right? And it's a voluntary registry. Like I said, there is no body that you can register in the UK as a sonographer because the title sonography or sonographer is not legally protected in the UK. But to practice sonography in the UK, you need to have your educational background to show that you have studied that. My daughter is giving the background noise. So that you have studied that. And you also need to have the clinical experience to show that you can do what you say you can do, if that makes sense. Hi, Amber. So now we are looking at things in the light of RCT. Now, with RCT, it's now for people who have their educational background in ultrasound only. So, if you study, for example, in Cameroon, in South Africa, in Ghana, or in India, where you have your undergrad study only in ultrasound, then you can now go ahead to register with RCT. It's a lengthy process. It really is a lengthy process, and it's not really as respected as RCT in terms of the employment world, but it is something that you can have. Now, if we are looking at in terms of what is it that you really need as a sonographer to practice in the UK in terms of registration, if you can get HCPC, go ahead and get it. Most people get this how through their undergraduates, right? With radiography, you can register with HCPC. Most people who study ultrasound only for their underground, they can take some courses and register with HCPC. So you just need to notify HCPC, go through the process, the lengthy process, and let them give you their course form and everything. You fill it up, you call them, and then the assessment team will go through that and they will tell you the courses that are lacking in your assessment to be qualified as a radiographer, and you can do those courses and then register, or you can go the RCT route. But for my experience, if you can go the HCPC route, please go the HCPC route. It's really the best that you can do in terms of the UK. Some people are asking about ARDMS, that is the registration for the US and Canada. I say Canada is confusing for me. Oh, sorry. I'm struggling with the cold, but I did promise myself that I will be out here to share this information. Something that I want to live through for myself, and the cold is not stopping me. So if you have any question about registration in the UK, let me know, okay? All right, so we are now at the ARDMS. ARDMS, yes. Now, given the perpetualities of the, there's not, let's say, intricacies about registrations for sonographers in the UK, ARDMS is accepted on the same level like RCT. But, like I said, if you can get the HCPC, get it. If you are not from a radiography background, you can also try and reach out to the ACPC assessment board and see what courses you can add to yourself to your degree so that you are okay to register with ACPC. ACPC is the most widely accepted by the recruiters in the field and the people who make the rules. So if you can get that, go ahead and get that. But if you do have your American registration, you can go ahead and do that. What is it, Mama? Attention. You need attention. All right. So if you have your ARDMS, yes, it's okay. You can go ahead and apply for jobs. Some employers will take a look at it. Hi there, is that Prana? Prana, I'm from Cameroon. I'm currently practicing as a sonographer in the UK. Where are you from? So yes, so your ARDMS and you did your special exam in OBS or in abdomen, you can go ahead and apply for jobs. You will be treated at the same level with people with RCT, right? So just because you have your educational background, you have your degree, your diploma to back it, you have your years of experience to back that. Those are the essential things that you need to practice as a sonographer in the UK. Those two really, yeah. Those are the two essential things that you really need to practice as a sonographer in the UK. All right. So if you have any questions, you let me know.